Hello and welcome to AI Voices. My name is Ryan and this is the channel. And if you're enjoying the content, please subscribe and like. There's a lot of things still coming. And also if you go here into the links, then you can see here a little bit of a description about everything that we're going to do here. And if you would like, you can also buy me a coffee or look into the links for all my different links and information. And today we're going to talk about n8n, and we're going to look at a automation that for this time, and also there will be future videos in regards to this. I'm doing an automation that's a little bit different. Usually I do automations for my clients, but this time I'm doing an automation for myself. And I think it's about time that my system and I will also enjoy this power. So if you don't know, this is n8n. When you go into the website, this is the homepage. This is how it looks. You can look around and you can see the pricing and different use cases, products, and so on. And once you want to start, you can either click on Get Started or Sign In. There is a link in the description below that you can use, so feel free to use it in order to sign up if you're interested in starting n8n, and this is a great time to start. Once we sign in, we basically come into a page with the home page. If we're here, then we can go and create a workflow, and this is basically where we create all the workflows. And today we're going to talk about this nice workflow that's basically an email manager agent. It's basically a workflow that manages all my emails that come in and helps me reduce a lot of hours and a lot of pain that I had in my business. I don't like going through my emails. It's a part of my business that I think I hate the most. And I do get a lot of emails. A lot of them are just not important. A lot of commercials, updates, stuff like that. And some of them are important from clients or from different updates that I need to know of and things that I need to handle, including invitations, scheduling, and stuff like that. And I had a problem where it just became a lot of emails. I got a lot of cluster, and in order for me to handle it, I used to sit around 4 to 5 hours per week on my email to clean it up, check everything, answer emails, and so on, and would take too much of my time, especially as a one-man show in my business. Then you need to find the best ways to use these tools in order to make better use of your time. So I built this automation, and basically what it does is that it handles all the emails. Like I said, it basically starts here with a trigger, and basically every new email that comes in triggers this node of a Gmail, and basically from there it goes into a text classification, which classifies what type of email is it. And there are a few classifications here that you can see. AI Voices branch, which basically is all the things that I handle for my YouTube channel, sponsorships, different requests, comments, stuff like that. Content research, things that I use in order to think of new things that I want to do or try to build stuff or get information about new things that are happening in the AI space. I'll just zoom in a little bit so you can see the rest. Google Workspace branch, basically as my business, I do have, and I get a lot of emails from Google. Most of them are not that important, but some of them are, and I would like to know, what's going on and what do I get. Scheduling, basically all invitations. If I get an invite to a meeting, invite to a conference, any stuff like that, then I have an agent that basically in this workflow handles that whole issue. I have a subscription branch, basically all my subscriptions, so I can manage all the AI tools that I use, OpenAI, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and so on. So I have that here. Tech stack is just basically all my AI tools that I get information, newsletters, and stuff like that in one place. And the White Hawk branch is basically my AI consulting firm that helps me to understand and manage my emails from that. Now, of course, if later on there will be any other types that I want to add, I can add easily and continue and build this workflow. But this is the basics of it all. And I'm going to demonstrate. We're going to start with a demo so I can show you how it works. I'm not going to do all the different options that there is here, but I will show you a few that I think are interesting. So we'll start from this branch, the AI Voices. And basically, I'm going to send myself an email, and then you're going to see how this whole system works, and we're going to go into it. So I'm just going to send an email and come back. Okay, so the first step was for me when I went into my email is to clean up. So that was something that usually I do once in a year or something like that, and I clean up everything. And I know to tell you that that alone could take a few hours. And what I did at this time is I used the ChatGPT Atlas. If you don't know, ChatGPT released a new browser And in that browser, you can basically have here the Ask ChatGPT, and you could ask it to help you. Have the agent mode that can also do actions for you on the browser, on the page itself. And basically I used him, I used the AI model in order to set up some labels with colors and everything, and make everything nice and clean. And then once I get an email, like this email that we will see here in a moment, okay, then basically the automation starts. So here in this email, it's basically an email for AI voices about a sponsorship offer. And basically all I need to do from here is I go into n8n, and we start by executing the workflow so I can demonstrate it. So I execute, a trigger starts, and of course takes the email, a classification, and now the classification decides that it's AI voices because of the subject and the content. And here there's basically a split into two different options. Either it's a sponsorship email or just any other email for AI voices. In this case, it was a sponsorship. So it goes up to the sponsorship agent, and then it goes into a Slack channel that it waits for me to approve or not. And if you look down here, you can see that it's still working. It's not moving, nothing is happening, and nothing will happen until I will approve or not. And this is a very important part, which is a human in the loop part in this automation. So basically I go into my Slack channel, and then I get here, you got a new sponsorship offer from this and this. We look forward to here. This is the whole email, and after that it basically writes an email back and tells me that there's a response waiting for your approval, and this is the response that basically I orchestrated with the agent to write, and now it's waiting for me, and I have two options. I can either approve or not approve, and if I approve, then it will continue here, and it will send the reply and mark the message as read. And if I want to approve, it will basically stop here and not continue. So in this case, we will click on approve, and then I get this message, and I can close it, and then I can come back here, and everything is done. So if we look back here, you can see that there is no more new message, there is no more new email in the workflow, and everything is done, and it sent a reply. And if we want to see, I'll show you the reply. Okay, and so here's the reply that it sent, and you can see here, hi there, thank you so much for reaching out. I'm excited to hear about your interest in partnership with AI voices. And it gives here a lot of information about pricing and different terms and stuff like that, and let's work together and so on. Okay, and that's basically this part of the automation. And then at the end, of course, it marks the email as read. Now, if there will be a different type of email, like we will see in a moment, then it should go to the other branch, and I will explain that other branch. I'm just gonna send me another email now. All right, so I just sent myself another email, and we should see it in a moment. Here it is. We just needed to refresh. And this email is also to AI voices, but this is not about a sponsorship. It's just someone saying, I just subscribed to your channel, love the content, can't wait to see what else, blah, blah, blah. And once I execute the automation, so it goes through the classifier, of course, and comes into AI voices. And here, instead of going to the sponsorship, it goes down to the other agent that basically writes a reply. And here, there is another wait basically for a response through Slack, that it's waiting for me to say if we should reply, or there's two other options, either hold on, don't do anything, if it's something that I want later on to check out, or move to trash, and then it goes and throws to the garbage. So before we approve it, I want to show you that if I refresh here, then we have that labeling, and I know that this is from AI voices, which I didn't show you in the first part, but now you can see it's relevant for both. And then if I go into my Slack, then I can see here you got a new email, new subscriber named James sent a message to share his appreciation for the channel's content. He has just subscribed and is looking forward to future videos. Now the agent, according to the prompt that I gave him, I wanted him to give me a recommended action and explain to me why he thinks we should take this action. So in this case, he says save for later reasoning. This is a positive feedback message that does not ask a question or require an urgent response. It can be viewed later or simply filed away. Okay, so I could listen to what he says and save it for later, and then we'll go into the middle branch here, which is basically nothing, or I can decide on a different decision that I want to make, and in this case I will decide to respond. So I will click on respond, and then we get to this n8n page, and here there's a drop down, and I can choose between reply, save for later, or move to trash. In this case I'm going to do reply, and I'm going to click submit. I can close this down, and basically now the automation continues. As you can see here, I can go in a little bit more so you can see, and now there's another agent that is basically constructing the reply and thinking how to draft the response, and it sends it as a draft because I want to make sure before it's sent to someone in general, just to make sure. So I have it in a draft and it is marked as read. So if I go back here, this same email, if I click now on refresh, I don't have it. It's not a new email anymore, and we're done with that part. And if I go back here, you can see that we have a draft response waiting for me in my drafts. So I'll show you that. Okay, so here is the email. I can click on it and then you can see just subscribed and RE. Hi James, thanks so much for subscribing and for the kind words. I'm glad to hear you're enjoying the content. We'll be posting more videos soon. If there are any topics or voices you'd like us to cover, please let me know. Thanks again for your support. And of course here I can change. Now there are a few things here that I would like to change. First of all, this dash here, which I don't like. And this is part of the reason that I prefer these stuff to be in a draft. And then once everything is okay, and I can do here best regards voices or whatever it is that I want to write down here, and then it's ready to send. So this is the reason why I prefer having this as a draft and not to send it automatically. So I am basically the human in the loop, trying to check and see that what he wrote is good, that there's no small things that I want to tweak, and that's basically this automation. If we go through some of the others, so there's a content resource branch where basically takes and labels it as a content resource, and then there's an AI agent that I gave it a prompt here and a task to extract and structure the information so that I can understand what it's talking about, and that it's suitable for social media and blog posts if I want later on to create a blog post or anything like that with it. It saves it into a Google Sheet, a very simple one that looks like this. We have a title, short description, URL, and then here a status that later on I can change if I post it or if I don't, and so on. And then of course marked as read. I have another branch of Google Workspace, which basically labels all of the Google Workspace emails that I get, notifies me on email, and this I did, on Slack, and this I did on purpose because sometimes you get emails from Google Workspace that are critical, important, or you really, you want to know about them, but most of the time it's just random updates. I get a notification into my Slack channel, specific channel dedicated for this, and it's marked as read, and it is done and goes out. The next one that I will also demonstrate right now, because I think it's an interesting way of how to deal with it, is basically a scheduling branch. And basically here it's when, those times where you get an invitation to a meeting or a conference or something. Sometimes you know what it's about. Sometimes it's just something that someone sends. You spoke on the phone and they said, okay, I am free at Monday, just send me an invitation. You forgot to check, or you couldn't check your calendar at that time, and they just sent you an invitation at a time that was good for them. This happens to me, not a lot, but it does happen sometimes. And another use case for this that happened to me is conferences that I'm invited to, and they just send an invite, and then I need to check and I want to see if it's something that I want to go, I don't want to go, I want to accept or not. So I have here basically a scheduling agent that checks my availability. And then after it checks my availability, it basically reroutes it to either accept the invite, decline the invite, or maybe which is to offer a different time in that same day. And if it's to do an invite in that same day, then he also sends a reschedule email to that person to let him know. And of course, marks everything as read. Same thing here, subscriptions is another branch where basically I get a lot of receipts and invoices from different tools that I have. And when you have a lot of tools, it gets a little bit hectic. So we label that, and then that moves into a document, a Google Drive folder, and it's waiting for me so I can handle it later with my accountant and send it to him with all the folder and all the different invoices that I need to send and to collect. And of course, it's also marked as read. And then from here, another branch is tech stack. It's basically all the stuff that are related to new tools that I use and have some updates and stuff like that. And here I also have an agent that takes the message, summarizes it for me, because sometimes you have these very, very long emails with a lot of information, and it's just too much to read all of them. So he just summarizes it to me, sends me a notification on Slack, and marks as the ad read. And then since I work a lot with Slack on my daily basis, then I have it on my phone as well. So it's easier for me. But of course, this could be Telegram, WhatsApp, whatever it is that you're using. And then you can go and just see like the summarization of that email. And it's still labeled. So if I ever need to check it out, go back to it, I can in a moment. The last branch that I did is my Whitehawk branch, which is basically for my business. And here I had a very big problem where some people would come in to my website, and this is my website. This is the homepage, and they go into contact and they fill it in. So sometimes there is people that fill it in a normal way, and they write a message. Hello, I need help with automation, and this looks okay, and then they click on agree and they send. And what happens now is that if I get this email, so I get an email contact form request from my website, and I see all the information, and then I basically can execute again this, and it classifies it, sends it to the Whitehawk branch. And then here there's a few things that happens. First of all, it extracts the information, so I can parse the information. If it's an email, his first name, the content, and I can do whatever I want with it. And then here there's another sentiment agent that basically decides if this is a real request or if this is a spam. And why did I do that? Because many times people come in here and they just put gibberish in like this, and they agree to the terms, and then they send it. And once they do that, then I get a message in here. By the way, this is already done, and it's sent to the as read. And you can see here, there's also a reply that I sent already to the contact and saying to him, something. So there's a response agent here. But sometimes you have someone coming in and writing just gibberish, and this is just spam. And this used to cluster my email. I used to get a lot of them. These days I get maybe 5, 6, maybe even more. There are ways to block that also in your website with plugins and stuff like that if you have a WordPress, I know that. But this is another way of me to handle even those that are able to do that. So I basically execute the workflow again, and we can see it classifies it exactly the same as a Whitehawk branch. But here in the real or spam, if it does the right job, then it takes it to the spam and deletes the message directly. So I don't need to handle with it or see it. If I click here, that's it, it's gone. I don't even see those spam because it goes right away into the trash. So this is like a very quick and fast overview of this workflow. If you're interested, then let me know, and I can elaborate on how exactly I built it, what did I do here, what are the nodes that I used, and so on. And of course, this is just one example, but I do think that we see a lot of different videos on YouTube and other places showing these amazing workflows that are nice as an idea, but then when we come to a practical solution, we need to build something that's from the ground zero and really practical for the end user, if it's for ourselves or for our clients. And in order to do that, we really need to understand, like, what is the process? What is the stuff that this client, this business, or myself, what do I need in order to make this really something that I can use and that can help me with my business? And that's the kind of use cases I'm looking for. And the videos that I'm gonna show later on are gonna show basically how we do real practical solutions and not just things that look nice on paper. And this is one of them, because this solves for me at least 4 or 5 hours per week instead of spending on my email at nights usually. So now I have that time either to go to sleep or to work on more stuff and making more content for you guys. So I hope you liked it. I would love to hear if you have any comments, any ideas that you would like to share, and I'll see you next time.